Two very poor buddies exchanged the grain in their bags. One of them carried his bag, broke through the fence, and quickly ran home because he had traded half a bag of ash for half a bag of walnuts. His wife brought out a large basin for him to pour the walnuts into, storing them for later. One of the children eagerly cracked open a walnut that had fallen out, only to discover that it was an acorn. The man in green was so furious that he almost fainted. He couldn't believe that his good buddy had deceived him. Enraged, he rushed out, grabbed a wooden plank, and headed to his buddy's house. Meanwhile, the man in white who lived farther away also arrived home. He told his children that he had traded half a bag of acorns for half a bag of rice. Upon hearing this, the children excitedly ran to get Spoon. His wife told him to pour the rice into a wooden basin to cook porridge for the children. However, when he poured it out, all that came out was ash. The whole family stared at each other in shock. The man in white, furious, stormed out of the house. He couldn't believe that his good buddy had tricked him. He grabbed a tree branch from the roadside, ready to confront him. The two buddies met again at the place where they had made their trade, both carrying weapons, trying to intimidate each other. Suddenly, a clay pot fell to the ground. The man in green couldn't help but laugh clearly. Neither of them could deceive the other. They then decided to go find work together. Before long, a wealthy landlord hired them. Although the job lasted only 3 days, he paid each of them with a plate of gold. However, the two buddies were not only poor, but also greedy. The man in white said that during the days he worked, he noticed that the deep pit where the landlord stored gold was always unguarded. The two of them immediately came up with a plan. That night, they sneaked into the backyard and reached the pit where the gold was stored. They tied two waistbands together and lowered one of them into the pit to collect the gold. The man above, seeing the bag full of gold, said, "Let's pull up the bag first, then I'll pull you up." The man inside the pit, fearing that his buddy would abandon him and keep all the gold, climbed into the bag himself, telling him to pull it up. Sure enough, he understood his buddy well. The man in white carried the bag of gold on his back and ran home without looking back. When he reached the safety of the forest, the man in green finally climbed out and scolded him.